Hey there, everybody. Nicole Nadler here. I'm an author, a life coach, and a business consultant. And in this workshop, I want to talk to you a little bit about my book, Walking Past Expectations. The reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because right here, as I record this, there are violent protests happening across the world. And it really boils down to something that I talk a lot about in my book, which is the subject of hatred and discrimination. Now, before you go thinking, she's a white chick, what does she know about discrimination and hatred? I actually personally went through something that was absolutely devastating on this subject, and I talk all about it in my book, so I'm not going to cover it here. But what that led to was me going ahead and becoming a human rights ambassador, and I am now the proud co-founder of 8 different youth for human rights groups across the world in 8 different countries. I help go in and get human rights talked about and brought up in the media, talked about at a grassroots level where kids and families and opinion leaders are bringing these booklets about what human rights are and how to implement them in your country. And I've gotten those into different countries. And sadly enough, the one place I have not focused on very much is right in my own backyard here in Oregon. So I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you guys about this subject. Today we're going to be talking about exactly 3 lies that you have probably heard or been told if you yourself have experienced racism, hatred, discrimination. You've probably been told these 3 lies about how to handle it. So we're going to dispel those lies, and taking from my book and the workbook I created to go with it, Walking Past Expectations, we're going to talk about how you actually handle situations like that in your life. All right, so here's the first lie. We're going to just dive right in here. If you've been the target of hatred, of discrimination, of racism, you probably have heard this lie. When you're being attacked, the right thing to do is just withdraw. Right? Haven't you been told that? Yeah, just go ahead and withdraw, step away, be non-confrontational, and that's the way to solve it. Wrong. Right? That is a complete lie. The right thing to do, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, is not to become violent, right? You will never, ever see me condone violence as a solution to any problem. If I did not become violent after everything that I experienced, I did never once hurt somebody, even though they were asking for it big time. If I did not, then I guarantee you it is not a solution. Because look, like I said, taking everything that I experienced, I went and turned around, and I've now helped hundreds of thousands of people bring human rights into their lives, okay? So the right thing to do is this. It's to get in a safe place and speak up, right? Use your voice. Use your experiences. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, who you are, where you've been, even what you've done, right? Look at George Floyd. The man was not an angel, but his experience, as sad, as tragic as it is changing the fucking world right now, right? So you can make a difference, but it is your voice that is needed right now. And ideally, a voice of reason, right? Not a voice of violence, but a voice of change. So let's talk about how exactly you can do that, okay? Lie number 2, it takes 2 to make a fight. I've heard this one so many times, and it's usually an excuse on the part of the other person, right, who has done something wrong to you and is now trying to tell you, well, 2 wrongs don't make a right, so don't hurt me in return, right? Total disgusting, like, toxic thing to say. But here's the truth. It's actually a complete lie. It doesn't take 2 people to make a fight. It takes 2 people to make an argument. It actually takes 3 people to make a fight. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Have you ever experienced this one, right? You hear about something someone did from someone else, and now you're mad at them. You go and try to confront them on it, and they're like, but, that's not really how it went down. And you get into a fight about it. Well, what happened there? I'll tell you exactly what happened. That toxic little person in your life who came and net to you about that guy, about that friend or that boyfriend or that girlfriend or that husband or wife or whoever, right? They came in like this in your ear about it. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, right now, there is one group of individuals on this planet who is greatly profiting from everything that's going on, right? No, the more you loot and the more you riot and the more you get upset and the more the politicians talk and they make big bucks. Guess who that is? It's the media. Yeah. Even Facebook, even social media, they make money the more they talk about bad stuff that happens in the world. And the more they stir the pot and try to like make it even worse and make it sound even more terrible. So you want to read it. So you want to find out because you're a good person. You want to be informed. And that is how they operate, right? There are a couple of groups out there that are not like this. You know, there's the Good News Media. They're a great channel. There's a couple of individual podcasters out there. There's a lot of bloggers out there who are really, really good. They just give the straight facts. They don't twist it. They're not angling for a certain political scheme or something like that. But the majority of these media groups and even some politicians are just out there talking like this so you will be mad, so that you will take action. Right? So just remember that the next time you get super frustrated and upset and feel, this is the key, if you feel like after hearing something like you can't do anything about it, you probably want to just shut that thing off. Okay? And go out and meet your neighbor. Meet the people on the street. Actually go talk to people. Because as I absolutely will tell you from 2 years of building human rights chapters in 8 different countries, the majority of people are good and want to do something about it. They just don't know what. So if you're like me and you have a genuine solution, something that works, that's at grassroots levels, every man, small or large, woman and child can do something about it, they want to listen and they will take action. So just remember that the next time someone comes at you and says, well, it takes 2 to make a fight. Honey, it takes 3 to make a fight. And you know what? That third one is probably not someone you need in your life. All right. Now, let's talk about lie number 3. Lie number 3, fighting fire with fire. And again, you know what? I have been in situations in my life where if I had had a bazooka, that guy's head would have been gone, like gone. And honestly, I'm lucky I didn't have one because I'd be in prison right now instead of doing this video for you. So let me talk about fighting fire with fire. There is a subject called public relations. Public relations is the subject of changing public opinion about something, right? So let's take the subject of racism, okay? Systemic racism comes from the fact that certain groups of people, certain groups of individuals have a set opinion about Black people, right? Really, honestly, anybody who's not white. Let's just call a spade, right? Certain individual people have that ingrained into their culture that anyone who's not white is a little less, right? Or a lot less. How do you change that opinion? Well, guess what? As a public relations woman, someone who's trained in this, someone who helps clients with their company PR or their celebrity PR, you don't fight fire with fire, okay? The way to change public opinion, I'll tell you right now, it's covered right here in my book. If you guys want to get this workbook, it's free. You can find it on my website. Section 4, okay? Here's how you change public opinion. Always wear your best shoes. This is the title of the chapter, right? There are 2 important elements to public relations. You got to do something good, and then you got to tell people about it, right? If you do nothing good, there's nothing worth talking about. There are so many people in the BIPOC community who do amazing things, okay? Doctors and dentists and optometrists and inventors and artists and sports people, and so much good is being done in the world by our BIPOC community. It needs to be talked about more, right? And before you, remember, going back to lie number 2, remember, the media will not help you promote something unless it's bad, right? Most of the time, it's really hard to get media attention for good things. Now, I do have a free training, by the way. This totally not trying to turn this into selling myself, but it is a free training if you want some help on how to get your name into the media. If you are a member of the BIPOC community, or really anybody who is doing good in the world and you want some help to actually promote that, reach out to me and I will absolutely give you my free training on it. But the point is, the way to change public opinion is to do good works and publicize them, meaning get them out in the world, right? That is, I guarantee you, the way to change public opinion. It's not to fight fire with fire. MLK Jr. knew that. Gandhi knew that. Lots of people have done this successfully. It absolutely works. But here's the key, right? Remember, this is straight out of my book. Remember, we're not trying to shape our lives to fit the neat package of what other people need or want. Those people, who gives what they need and want, right? That's not you. This book is about moving past expectations and building your life the way you want it. But please note, that is passing their expectations, not failing to meet the expectations of others, right? Looting, rioting, things like that, those do not pass people's expectations. They actually fail to meet the expectations of what a decent human being should do. And those are not, that is fighting fire with fire. I mean, it's not going to result in a good shift of public opinion, which is what needs to happen, because I know, and you know, if you're still watching this video, that we are all humankind. We are all endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, right? We are all born free and equal. That is an indisputable fact in my mind and in my heart. And I want everyone else in America, and honestly, everyone in the United States and everyone in the world, to know that. But I need your help. I need you to apply what you learned here and go out in the world and do good works and publicize them. I'm working on that myself, and I bet you can do it too. It doesn't take any money. It only takes the goodness of your heart and a little bit of time. All right? So what I want you to do here is to focus on what your goals and dreams are, right? What do you want to accomplish in your life? Go out and win. Go out and do those things. Succeed in life. It doesn't matter on what topic, right? You don't need to be saving millions of lives. You just need to be being a good person, doing good works, and then don't forget to talk about them. Because I think that that's one thing that our BIPOC community needs to recognize, is that there are so many of us who have lived our entire lives with white privilege and are just waiting and hoping that you will come to us and give us the opportunity to give you a voice, okay? So don't settle for the victim bullshit. Just go out there, do good works, and let us help you publicize them, all right? Thank you so much for coming to this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you want any of the resources I talked about in this video, I will link to them below, and I look forward to meeting you.